The head of UN Peacekeeping, Jean-Pierre Lacroix, is warning that levels of violence in the DR Congo's Kasai region have reached troubling levels. Lacroix was presenting a report on the UN mission in the DRC MUNUSCO before the UN Security Council. Mission head Maman Sidikou was also slated to brief the Council on the progress made so far. The contentious issue of elections was also expected to come up, and a peace accord signed late last year. President Joseph Kabila agreed the general election would take place this year. Opposition parties have accused him of trying to cling to power by repeatedly delaying the vote. There are concerns polls won't take place due to financial constraints. Our UN correspondent Liling Tan has been following proceedings at that Security Council meeting and now joins us live with more details from New York. Liling, what has emerged from that meeting so far?
Well, this was a meeting in which we heard more about the lack of progress than any progress towards implementing that accord from December 2016 that was signed between the DRC government under President Kabila and the opposition. Now, there is immense concern among the Security Council here over the troubling conditions on the ground and the very real possibility now that planned elections under the agreement may not take place before the end of the year. Now, he underscored the conditions on the ground, saying that the elections have been impeded and that efforts to implement the accord has been sorely insufficient. He also noted that the consensus that had brought rival factions together in December have all but crumbled. Now, there is deep worry among council members that another delay in the elections could deepen the political crisis, fuel the security, fuel the violent clashes that we've been seeing, especially in the Kasai region, and also feed into the humanitarian crisis. Now, the broad concern here among nations, especially regional countries, is that a deepening and persistent political crisis, the impact from that, the effects from that could spill over into the rest of the region.
And Liling, have we had any reactions yet to the recent sentiments attributed to DRC's Electoral Commission that it may not be possible to hold elections this year?
Yes, there certainly were concerns raised about this new development here. The concern is that this could effectively derail all the progress that has been made, that the deepening political crisis would affect not just nations, but then also the region and the world. Now, Francois Delatte, the French ambassador to the UN, expressed France's concern over this delay. He said that France believes that the accord is the only solution out of the DRC crisis and that political factions need to show their commitment here. The UN Secretariat itself, the Office of the UN Secretary General, told me that right now, in terms of taking the next step forward, they need to wait for the DRC's Election Commission to publish its calendar to clarify when exactly now they plan to hold the presidential and legislative elections.
All right, Liling Tan in New York, thank you for joining us.